Hello, I am Yoon from Changshin University, located in Gyeongnam, South Korea. The research title of my presentation today is a survey of mental health status of public health officials, focusing on depression, anxiety, and trait anger. So, let's start the presentation. Due to the prolonged COVID-19 infection, average depression and anxiety in major OECD countries have more than tripled, and Korea ranks first in depression and fourth in anxiety among 15 OECD countries. 60.2% of the people expressed anxiety, 21.6% anger, 30.7% is sadness, and 1.7% is hatred, which were found to be largely caused by disconnection and lack of communication. The fears and stressors that persist during the COVID-19 pandemic cause long-term problems for individuals and families in the community. Possibility of intensifying emotional states, such as anger and aggression toward the government and frontline workers, distrust of information from government and other authorities, and negative consequences such as possible occurrence of anger and aggression toward the community can experience. This causes frontline workers to experience the additional stressors during the COVID-19 outbreak. In other words, constant tension and vigilance due to strict disease prevention measures, burden put into related work from the beginning of the epidemic, fear of infection due to screening tests, caring for confirmed patients, quarantine measures, control work, etc. They are exposed to tension and stress. Mental responses to disaster experiences are divided into primary stressors and secondary stressors. And primary stressors include witnessing someone's death or injury due to a disaster event or feeling threatened and fearful in life. Secondary stressors include indirect experiences that persist for a long time even after the event is over and cause mental health problems. An infectious disease disaster is one of the social disasters, and experiences of social isolation due to infection, distancing to prevent disease spread, and disconnection of interpersonal relationships appear. In this situation, fear of the safety of loved ones becomes evident among frontline workers in charge of quarantine, and they become more afraid of infecting their family members than they are afraid of themselves being infected. Currently, COVID-19 has subsided to some extent, but there is no guarantee that the same experience will not be experienced under various infectious disease situations in the future. Accordingly, it was realized that it was necessary to conduct a fact-finding survey on the health status of public health officers who were committed to screening tests, caring for confirmed cases, and guaranteeing measures to do their best. Public health officers are technical public officers different from general administration and are in charge of duties such as environmental sanitation, food sanitation, public health, industrial health, and quarantine. In a study comparing job stress, health promotion, health behaviors, and quality of life between health and administrative officers, but the quality of life was significantly lower. In addition, recently, due to excessive work in the COVID-19 situation, there have been cases where extreme choices have been made, indicating that this is a serious level. Therefore, in this study, based on the results of examining the mental health status of public health officers and analyzing the relationship between variables, it is intended to be used as a preceding study to construct a hope reinforcement program for the same target in the future. This study is a descriptive research study to identify the mental health level of public health officers and to verify the difference in mental health level according to the demographic characteristics of the subjects. The subjects of this study were health officers, medical technicians, and nursing officers working at health centers and district offices belonging to 15 districts located in the city. The number of subjects was calculated using the G-Power program. The number of subjects who participated in the data collection was 120, and a total of 117 subjects were used for measurement analysis, excluding 3 subjects who responded insincerely in the main measurement values. This study used a structured questionnaire for differentiation. Nine items from the Korean version of patient health questionnaires 9 were used for anxiety, 7 items from the GID-7, and for trait anger. 10 items that were translated and modified from the Korean version of SDAXI were used. Data collection as follows. Data analysis is as follows. A total of 117 subjects were included in this study, and women accounted for more than half of them. 39.3% of health workers, 25.6% of medical technicians, and 35.2% of nursing workers, and their current duties include responding to infectious disease, medicine, health promotion, examinations, mental health, food hygiene, family health, dementia policy project, health management, public health, and support for infants and toddlers. Most of the work of public health officers was to respond to infectious disease. The most stressful work contents were responding to severe complaints related to COVID-19 and structural problems related to COVID-19 work. In detail, first, in responding to severe complaints related to COVID-19, responding to severe complaints with a lot of emotional appeals, such as violent phone calls, anger of appeals for sympathy, abusive language, complaints of non-cooperation with epidemiological investigations, resistance to self-isolation, and non-compliance with epidemiological investigations. Second, structural problems related to COVID-19 work include frequent job division, weekends and holidays, and night shifts. Third, other matters were answered with content such as work mistakes, difficulties in human relations, manpower management, difficult work, and licensing regulation of entertainment bars. The Ministry of Health and Welfare reported that 17.6% of the people were experiencing depression in a 2021 National Mental Health Survey, and a study by Lee and Kim revealed that 55.8% of the people were experiencing anxiety and depression. 44.4% of the public health officers who were the subject of this study experienced depression, and 32.5% experienced anxiety. Looking at these results, the degree of depression and anxiety among the entire population, including health officers during the COVID-19 situation, was severe. Due to COVID-19, 76% of public health officers responded negatively to the stress level, which was a serious level compared to 61.7% of the public. As a result of examining the difference in mental health status according to the degree of stress, it was found that even those who responded that they did not feel stress had a high degree of depression. In the future, it is necessary to investigate the relationship between the degree of stress awareness, personality characteristics, and depression. Anxiety increased when people felt stress, and in a study that investigated a relationship between job stress and anxiety symptoms for office workers, all items such as job demands, lack of job autonomy, job instability, organization system, inadequate compensation, and workplace culture were found. Public health officers, the subject of this study, stopped most of their work during the COVID-19 situation, concentrated only on responding to infectious diseases and stress factors such as overtime work, weekends and holidays, frequent division of work, and verbal abuse from civil petitioners. It can be seen that it caused anxiety. As for the degree of difficulty in daily life, 92.3% of the health officers, excluding 7.7%, complained that there was a change, and it was confirmed that the discomfort in daily life had an effect on the degree of depression, anxiety, and trait anger. In a study using the 2020 Community Health Survey, changes in daily life such as social distancing, changes in participation in sports or leisure activity, children's suspension of school attendance, change in working practice rates, and consumption of instant food and delivered food were associated with COVID-19. It has been said that the pandemic has a negative impact on mental health. It can be inferred that this is due to the twisted experience of daily life in the context of an infectious disease. Health officials responded that 37.7% of sleep quality worsened due to COVID-19, which resulted in increased level of depression and anxiety. In a press release by the Ministry of Health and Welfare, 30.6% of the people reported a negative change in sleep quality in the COVID-19 situation, indicating that many people suffer from sleep disorders in the context of an infectious disease such as COVID-19. 19.7% of health officers responded that they had thought they wanted to die in the past year, and 13.7% answered that they had thought that they wanted to die due to the COVID-19 situation. It was confirmed that it affected anxiety and trait anger. According to press release by the Ministry of Health and Welfare, 20.30% of the public said that they thought of wanting to die in the past year, and suicide thought in the COVID-19 situation soared from 4.6% to 12.4%. Among health officers, the conversation with colleagues was the highest at 48.7% when stress or psychological pain was present, followed by conversation with family at 46.2%, drinks alcohol at 30.8%, and preoccupation with hobbies at 29.9%. There is no way to resolve it. 12%. Keep it in your heart and not express it. 11.1% rely on religious life. 7.7% otherwise. 6.8% conversation with the boss was 2.6%, in particular in other methods, counseling at work, talking to a laugh, sleeping, and self-harm were described. In particular, in the case of there is no way to relieve it, and it is kept in my mind and not expressed, it cannot be said that it has essentially relieved stress or psychological pain among the subjects who described their thoughts. It is necessary to actively intervene in the part described as self-harm when experiencing stress or psychological pain. Regarding the need for mental health services to help with psychological distress due to the COVID-19 situation, 83.8% expressed the need for mental health services, with 65% substantially necessary and 18.8% very necessary and stressed over the past year. 47% said they felt they wanted to leave counseling, psychological treatment, or help the psychological pain. In fact, 11.1% of personal interest such a mobile phone application experience, psychological counseling experience at medical institution, 10.3%, government and experience of using services provided by the public showed 7.7%, followed by others, 2.6%. Respondents responded that they were receiving tailored counseling, temporary stay, and counseling services in the workplace for others. Considering that the psychological pain in the COVID-19 situation is very serious, and seeing that people are receiving help in various ways, it can be seen that the development of various programs to alleviate the psychological pain of public health officers is necessary. As a result of examining the cutoff points of depression and anxiety in health officers, mild depression was 12%, moderate depression was 6%, severe depression was 1.7%, mild anxiety was 31.6%, and moderate anxiety and severe anxiety was 4.3% respectively. And in a study measured with the clinical depression screening tool PHQ-9 scale and generalized anxiety disorder scale GAD-7, which are the same tools as this study. 17.6% of the entire population were at risk for depression, and 31.9% of the generalized anxiety disorder risk group. Public health officers, subjects of this study, showed a rate of depression of 19.7% and trait anxiety anxiety of 40.2%, and they could be aware of the dangerous situation from mild to severe symptoms. The higher the level of depression among health officers, the higher the level of anxiety and trait anger. And the higher the level of anxiety, the higher the level of trait anger. Depression and anxiety are symptoms that are highly correlated with anger. The symptoms are related to generalized anxiety disorder and tend to magnify the experience of anger. In the result of this study, it is worth noting that health officers had moderate depression of 60%, severe depression of 1.7%, moderate anxiety of 4.3%, and severe anxiety of 4.3%. So far, social welfare services and psychological support measures for the vulnerable and the public in the COVID-19 situation, stress management measures for frontline workers, mental health management for disaster, psychological support works, and mental health management by public officers in charge of public health care. However, it can be seen that the mental health of public health officers who were in charge of responding to infectious diseases were overlooked. The results of this study indicate that measures are needed to manage the level of depression, anxiety of health officers and prevent them from turning into anger. It is hoped that there will be a change in the public's perception of public health officers, one of the people, and the development of management plans and various programs for mental health management so that the same situation does not repeat whenever social disasters such as infectious diseases are repeated. This study was conducted as a preceding study to find out the mental health status of public health officers, identify related factors, and organize a problem, a strength and hope. As a result of the study, the level of depression, anxiety, and threat anger of public health officers was higher than that of a general public, and when there was stress or psychological pain, they tried to relieve it, sought various methods, but there were cases where thoughts of suicide were reflected. Since 83.8% of public health officers responded that they needed mental health services to help with psychological pain, it can be seen that the development of various programs is necessary. It is hoped that various programs will be developed and applied to the target people, and so that it will be an opportunity to relieve social disasters such as infectious diseases and job stress in the future. This study sampled public officers in health, medical technology, and nursing positions working at public health centers and district offices belonging to 15 districts of the city, and the results of the study are unreasonable to expand to the whole country. However, since meaningful results such as depression, anxiety, threat, anger, suicide ideation, and responses to asking for help were derived, it is meaningful in that it provided a platform for further research. This work was supported by National Research Foundation of Korea and Changshin University Research. References include I will finish my presentation. Thank you.